Chris was closing that evening as he did every Friday with Jess. He was milking the clock, chatting, and sweeping every last corner on the floor. I was nagging at him to hurry up and finish his work. We had plans tomorrow. When I was almost finished, I decided that I would meet him at home. As we kissed goodbye, I said, "See you in 45 minis?" He said, "Yes, 45 minis." The next thing I knew, it was just after midnight. I was standing in my towel, fresh out of the shower, receiving a call from Jess, frantic and out of breath. "Elaine, Chris and Steve were just shot." It was Will. I was just there. I could never effectively describe to any of you sitting here today the numbness and sense of shock that went through my body when the doctor looked at me and said, "We did everything that we could, but upon arrival, Chris's heart stopped pumping blood through his body and his pupils were unresponsive. We lost him." The doctor kindly asked me if I had any questions. I looked at him with a blank stare and calmly said, "No, none that you could answer." I'm going to be honest. I had a lot of trouble trying to figure out what I wanted to say about the man that I love in front of the man that murdered him. I kept coming back to the fact that William Wood was the murderer. We all had a special place in our dysfunctional Chili's family, even Will. It pains me to say that we all share dear memories with him. Everyone made an effort to embrace him, regardless of his issues. People always made sure he had a ride home, had a bus fare. We even sang him happy birthday. Will was one of us. It makes no sense to me why he did what he did. Most people would move on after they lose their job. Apparently, Will had other plans. I worked with Chris for about 2 years before we fell in love. I knew work Chris before I knew my Chris. At work, Chris was extremely hardworking, ambitious, knowledgeable in every aspect of his job. He was always going above and beyond. Chris and I fell in love in the spring of 2018. I was pleasantly surprised that he became the person that I always needed. Chris had this way of making me feel safe, centered, and loved. Chris made me whole. As you do in every serious relationship, you begin to make plans. Chris and I had plans. No certain order, but there was no second guessing, no different pages. I loved Chris, and he loved me. Since Chris's death, I've tried to spend most of my days staying busy. I go to work, I go to school, I come home, I go to sleep. I think of Chris every moment. What would we be doing, and how would my life be different? I will never know. The chapter we had written has been erased.